Imagine never working again and your money never running out. Not for 10 years, not for 30, for the rest of your life. That's not a fantasy for some guru. It's a rule built on decades of real market data, and it's simpler than you think. It's called the 4% rule. Researchers looked back across nearly a century of market history and asked one question: how much could someone pull out of their investments each year and still not run dry through every crash and recession along the way? The answer that kept showing up was about 4% a year. So here's how it works in practice. Take your total invested pot, and 4% of it is roughly what you can spend per year, more or less, forever. A pot of 1 million gives you about 40,000 a year. A quarter of a million gives you about 10,000 a year. The pot stays roughly intact because in a normal year, your investments grow by more than that slice that you took out. You're living off the harvest, not chopping down the tree. Now flip it, because this is the number that should live in your head. If you live on a certain amount per year, multiply it by 25, and that's the pot you're aiming for. Want 20,000 a year? You need about 500,000. Want 40,000 a year? About $1 million. Suddenly, financial freedom stops being a vague dream and becomes a specific target you can actually walk toward. But here's the honest catch, and it matters most for young people, which is exactly who this channel's for. The 4% rule was built around a retirement lasting about 30 years. If you retire really young, your money might need to last 50 or even 60 years. Over that long, you might want a bit more of a cushion. So a lot of early retirers use a slightly lower number, around 3.5%, just to be safe. On a 3 million pot, that's about 105,000 a year, and the pot still tends to grow in the background. And that's the real magic. Done right, you're not only ever spending the growth and never the core. The tree keeps getting bigger whilst you eat the fruit. A pot like that doesn't just last your lifetime, it can outlive you. So the goal was never to be insanely rich. It's to build a pot big enough that a small, safe slice of it quietly covers your entire life. This isn't financial advice, and real markets don't move in straight lines, but the principle is one of the most important in all of investing. Find your number, multiply it by 25, then go build it. If this gave you a target to aim at, subscribe to Quiet Wealth. Build wealth quietly.